Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Master League. It is the second leg, the Roma in between. We beat Southampton 1-0. This is a much changed Aston Villa team, with some interesting choices being made by the manager, cultured left foot, as the teams walk out of the tunnel into the Wanda Metropole again for this game. The Champions League anthem blaring in the background. The flags have the Champions League corner flags on. The corners have the flags on the corner posts. The Champions League anthem is around. The sponsorships are there. It's Roma versus Aston Villa. And Roma hold a 2-0 lead with 2 away goals. Aston Villa starting with Michael Carrick and Jack Grealish in the middle. Weghorst comes in as the big man. Alongside him is Timothy Weah. Tammy Abraham misses out with an injury. Roma line up with Dzeko up front again. Back four is a bit interesting for Aston Villa, and we will have a look at that as the graphics load. So, welcome ladies and gentlemen, this is how Roma line up. Morante is in goal. They have a changed lineup themselves. Cardtop, Marcano, Juan Jesus and Kolarov at the back four, and Nzonzi, Cristante and Pastore in the middle. El Shaarawy, Dzeko and Raheem Sterling starting on the right wing. Aston Villa look like this. Sommer in goal. Trippier, Lucien Bonnet, Basajevic and Tierney at the back four. Soldado, Carrick, Grealish and Lulic across the middle. And Timothy Weah partners Weghorst up front. And it's going to be an interesting game. Aston Villa have to come out and attack, conceding 2 away goals when Roma played the first leg. And we'll be seeing Villa press from the off. Villa obviously coming in from a win in the Premier League, taking a 1-0 win away at Southampton, which would be good for the confidence building. However, with this makeshift back four, have Aston Villa got what it takes to get a win against this very strong Roma team, who really impressed in the first leg, and they didn't take any prisoners. Edin Dzeko was a complete handful up front, and you would think he's going to get the best of this makeshift back four in the air. So it's up to Aston Villa to really try and keep this game alive. But they've got an early chance here as Soteldo comes forward, holds onto the ball. Trippier with an overlap. Trippier puts this in, looking for Weah. Cristante gets up and heads it away, and Pastore then clears the ball. And this is where Roma could be dangerous on the counter-attack that Aston Villa have to be wary of. Roma in their all-red kit with the yellow socks, and Villa in their away kit of white and burgundy, or claret if you will. But so far, Roma look like they've been a little bit uncomfortable in possession. Aston Villa trying to set the tempo early of a high-speed, high-press game. We'll just have to see if that's enough for the team from the West Midlands to get a result against the team from Italy. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting lineup. So on the ball now is Soteldo. Soteldo on the right wing for Villa. Up to Weghorst, the big man, round the corner with a nice flick to Weah. Weah to Grealish. Grealish holds onto the ball for just a bit too long. And here comes Under. Under's got a lot of pace. Not Raheem Sterling starting on the right. That was my mistake at the beginning of the commentary. El Shaarawy squares it. Dzeko shoots. Sommer with a save. And the rebound falls to Under, who puts it wide. So already Aston Villa struggling to deal with Edin Dzeko once again, as Roma show they can be deadly. Obviously, Roma do not need to push forward. Lulic looks for a crossfield ball, which is so easy for Kolarov to intercept. Cultured left foot will not be happy with that, and it's given El Shaarawy a chance. He comes in, he shoots, he scores. That's probably the game. That is probably Aston Villa not going through to the Champions League proper, as El Shaarawy and Edin Dzeko pose for the camera, and it was that poor ball from Lulic, a wonderful ball from Kolarov into Dzeko round the corner. El Shaarawy with a great run, and what a finish that is. Sommer with no chance. It's 1-0 Roma on the night, 3-0 Roma on aggregate. There can no longer be extra time or penalties, and Aston Villa now have to score 3 goals, and that is going to be a tall order in this game, as Michael Carrick with a good ball out to Lulic. Lulic into Grealish, but again, too slow on his toes. Up it goes towards Dzeko. Lucien Bonnet, normally a right back, having to cover in centre back today, with Tuanzebe and Retsos both not being up for this game, which is really disappointing for manager cultured left foot. Missing both of his centre back partnership is just killer in a game of this magnitude. Soteldo looks into Weah. It's poor, and you can already feel Aston Villa trying to force the issue. They could really go back to their roots of keeping possession, which has got them promotion to the Premier League, got them that first season success, and that is what they need to do now. And the 4-3-3 of Roma Shouldn't really be too hard to break down for Aston Villa in a 4-4-2. There should be options on the ball every time as Tierney comes forward. In it goes to Lulic. Lulic has a poor pass. The young left winger really not having the best of starts in this game as Lucien Bonnett puts in a good tackle on El Shaarawy. Trippier now looks to burst forward. Soteldo out on the right. He's overhit that ball. He's not going to get it. And that sums up Aston Villa at the moment. And it's all Roma as Weghorst looks to put under pressure. Nzonzi in the middle of the park. Up to Dzeko. El Shaarawy brings it down very well with a nice first touch. Kolarov, and this is Roma just keeping possession. Literally, there is no need for them to push too high up. I think Aston Villa are going to have to maybe change to a sort of gegenpressing and a very high press up the pitch as Bisejevic does very well to win the tackle and then dodge the potential challenge there as Lulic wins header. It's a terrible ball out of the back from Lucien Bonnett, who is really struggling in this centre-back role. Bisejevic with a strong tackle. Up it goes towards Weir. Weir out to Carrick, and Michael Carrick gives it away as well. That was a poor pass. El Shaarawy with a few ball rolls as he looks to get away from Carrick into Pastore. Back to Nzonzi. Roma very clearly dictating this play now. Under shoots from range. That goes past the post. So Sommer with the goal kick, and now Aston Villa are playing a more keep the ball possession, a bit of tiki-taka. We could well see that happening now. So can they create some pockets of space just to allow some runs from the strikers to be found and maybe some penetrating balls from the likes of Jack Grealish into Soteldo, out to Weghorst, into Soteldo's feet again. He waits for the run. He's got it there from Trippier. Trippier lays it back to Soteldo. Little dink in the box looking for Weir. Those sorts of crosses really need to be aimed at Weghorst and not Timothy Weir. But here now come Roma as the gegenpress is on, and Tierney covers that very well indeed to stop that Roma attack in its tracks. Lucien Bonnett flicks it out to the right hand side to Trippier. Up it goes to Soteldo into Weghorst. Weghorst, good flick with his boot round the corner, and it's going to fall to Weghorst. Oh, it's great defending from Juan Jesus. And that's the sort of things that are falling for Roma and not falling for Aston Villa as Tierney's caught out of position yet again. He gets back in time to cover, and then he'll let Weir do that pressing there as it goes into Weghorst. Lulic presses Karsdorp, forcing him backwards, but Roma are totally fine with that at the moment as we get the ball there. We nick in. Grealish finds Salcido. Salcido leaves the ball behind ever so slightly. Weir into Weghorst. Weghorst gives it to Grealish. Grealish just looks to spin and turn. Lulic will pick that up. Carrick flings it out to Tierney. Knocks it back to Lulic. Lulic puts that in the box looking for Weghorst, and it's an easy header clearance. Salcido keeps it alive. Weghorst squares it. Oh, it was meant for Weir, and he tried to pick out Grealish. And that is a good opportunity for Aston Villa that's just gone begging. And now Edin Dzeko's spin in behind, but that's not a very good first touch. Sommer gets a big, strong left paw to that and keeps it out. Dzeko with a pretty good strike as Grealish lays it back to Lucien Bonnett. Lucien Bonnett into Carrick. Carrick to Grealish. Grealish out to Salcido again. Salcido runs onto the ball right in his stride. He comes forward. He's got a lot of space. He gets to the byline, looks to cut it back. Hits Kolarov, goes for a corner. And now this is where Aston Villa really have to make these count. Where is Weghorst? That's what I'm after. Where is... So they'll be looking for the big man in Weghorst. As the... just looking to create a bit of space. The ball is going to come in. In it goes. Looking for Weghorst. Too close to the keeper. Menante makes an easy catch. Very well caught by the goalkeeper that. And he looks to just clear this up the pitch. Probably looking for Edin Dzeko. Trippier tries to manoeuvre himself in front of him and actually does very well, the small fullback there against the mighty Edin Dzeko. As now Grealish comes forward. There's a bit of space. Grealish looks to get away from Nzonzi. Flicks it round the corner. Weir picks it up, but Grealish was fouled. And this is in shooting range. Lucien Bonnett is over the ball. 83 free kicks. This is a very good opportunity now. Lucien Bonnett. Can he curl this one in? It's over the wall. Oh, what a free kick. Lucien Bonnett has given Aston Villa a chance in this game. He grabs the ball and takes it back to the centre circle. Bisejevic and Carrick are delighted. It's a wonderful free kick from Lucien Bonnett. 2 more goals are needed for Villa. The goalkeeper's got absolutely no chance with that strike. It's a wonderful, wonderful set piece. Lucien Bonnet sticks it in the corner, and it is a 1-1 on the night. Aston Villa with a glimmer of hope in this tie. As Weir intercepts that very early doors. Can he do? He's turned too many times and loses the ball, but now Villa have their tails up for sure. Carrick puts Pastore under pressure, and Nzonzi now has the ball, looking to just bring a little bit of order back to this Roma display. Round the corner, it's good play. Under's now going to be in a bit of space. Tierney gets back to cover, holds him up well, and then he covers it again as the ball comes forward from Karsdorp. Tierney nicks that with a wonderful tackle, but gives it away, and Nzonzi reads it well. Into Dzeko. Dzeko with a bit of space. His shot goes past the post. Jan Sommer sprawling across his goal to try and make the save. As it was good work from Tierney, but this pass was absolutely horrendous. And Nzonzi into Pastore, round to Dzeko. Had a bit of time, but fired his shot past the post. Trippier then picks up Jan Sommer's free kick. It's a terrible first touch from Kieran Trippier. It's released El Shawari back to Dzeko. Dzeko hurdles the challenge. He's just been held up. Trippier holds him up, trying not to dive in. Trippier forces Dzeko back to the corner flag. Just looks like he's playing for time. Dzeko's managed to get round him. Basajevic is there, but can't win the header. Cristante puts it in, and Trippier was made a mockery of Dzeko in the corner there. Cristante kisses the corner flag. Oh, it's shocking. It's shocking to get back into it so well. Aston Villa give it away as a pile on Cristante by the corner flag. And Roma restore their lead. And look at this. Edin Dzeko absolutely taking the mickey out of Kieran Trippier here. Just a little shimmy around and good ball in. And then Cristante had the run on Basajevic. Somewhere in that range has no chance. And it's back to, a big difference. It's 4-1 on aggregate. Aston Villa needing 3 goals again. Let's see what happens in the second half. So no changes in the second half for either team. Aston Villa sticking with the same 11. It's a busy little old schedule at the moment. Champions League football or European football really hurting Aston Villa as Lulic finds himself in a bit of space. He's got Weghorst in the middle. Tries to pick him out. It's headed away. And Pastore flicks it on to complete the clearance. And Trippier just lets that run out for a throw-in. He has it. It's a quick one on to Michael Carrick. Carrick turns. Tried to lay that off to Grealish, but he's put under too much pressure. Dzeko into El Shawari. El Shawari back to Dzeko. Dzeko to Pastore. Looking over the top. El Shawari picks it up. Dzeko is starting to really dominate again like he did in the first leg. This is just, I think, a level too quickly, too far for Aston Villa. But Weghorst has made a good run here. Lays this off to Trippier. Trippier looks to dink it in. Looking for Weir. He had the run on Karsdorp. Crisante's there, but it's cleared away by Roma. And Edin Dzeko will hold this up. Put under good pressure. The ball falls to Saltido. Out on the right-hand side is Trippier. Trippier just looks to hold on to the ball. Sees the run of Saltido. Can't find him. And it's that Roma defence have been absolutely solid. As Lucien Bonnet wins that back into Carrick. Carrick to Grealish. Grealish up to Weir. Weir to Weghorst. Weghorst shoots. Easy save for Morante, but it's a shot on target for Aston Villa. And their fans haven't had too much to shout about today, so they'll be happy with that shot, I'm sure. As now Roma just keep the ball, passing it around. Karsdorp put under pressure by Weir, but he can't keep it in. And it's really struggling now for Villa to really create anything out of this, as Roma mix up their tactics ever so slightly now. Juan Jesus up to Pastore, over the top, looking for El Shawari. Trippier's got to get his legs on. He's been outpaced by El Shawari. Trippier then tries to block the cross. El Shawari gets it in there anyway. And Lucien Bonnet will get his head to that one. Now, Carrick, a good ball out to Grealish. It's not a good ball, and Nzonzi got there first. And then slides in Basajevic on Dzeko. That is not a nice tackle at all. It's a yellow card for the young centre-back from Aston Villa. Basajevic here as Dzeko turned, and he was about to get his shot off, and we saw Kolarov do something from this position in the first leg. Is it going to be similar in this game? And I think we are going to change this up quite drastically. We're going to have Weghorst as the focal point in a 4-3-3. Grealish will put Saltido up here as a centre forward, and Giuseppe Rossi is going to come on to replace him. We'll have Grealish on the left, Carrick in the middle, and Lulic is going to come off and be replaced by Dani Ceballos in a pretty big roll of the dice from Aston Villa now. And it's going to be Kolarov to line up a free kick. We've already seen Lucien Bonnet fire one in from range. And now, is this going to go in? Kolarov steps up. He hits the wall and Sommer sees it past the post. It goes for a corner. It's a good block from the wall. They stood tall. Grealish getting his forehead on it to nod it away. As now the ball's going to come in. Kolarov swings it in. No, he doesn't. He goes short. Karsdorp looks to play it in low. Lucien Bonnet reads that. Now, Lucien Bonnet is lacking options here, so gives it off to Trippier. It's picked up by Carrick. Carrick with lots of space to run into. Aston Villa are now going to have to really go for this game and really throw the kitchen sink at Roma. Bergdorf looks to nod that down. He can't. It's cleared away. And I think a difference in class is really being shown between Roma and Villa as Jack Grealish actually gets in very well but then loses it after winging it. Trippier can't bring that down. It just hits his shoulder. El Shaarawy is there. And Pastore has it. Back to El Shaarawy. Now that's going to leave a bit of space in behind. But Kolarov's forced backwards. Danny Ceballos puts under pressure. Pastore, El Shaarawy. Roma keeping the ball very, very well. And there's not much Aston Villa can do about it. Giuseppe Rossi presses. Weghorst presses. And Nzonzi gives the ball away into Weghorst. Weghorst back to Ceballos. And Nzonzi gives away a foul. And I think that'll be Nzonzi out of the next round with that booking. And he is out of the next round. So Ceballos, Trippier. Weghorst looking for this ball. Can we get it in? Up it goes. In for Weghorst. And Juan Jesus beats him to the ball. Grealish into Carrick. Carrick into Weir. Weir into Weghorst. Gives it back. Looking for Weir. Weir's in on goal. And he's missed. He's put it past the post. And I can't believe he's missed that. Grealish into Carrick. Carrick to Weir. Weir to Weghorst. Lovely 1-2 to split the defence. And then Weir, he puts them away every day in training. And misses an absolute sitter for Timothy Weir. There is 25 minutes to go in this game. And it really does look like Aston Villa are running out of ideas as Dzeko wins yet another header. Under is tackled very well though. And Michael Carrick comes forward. And he's looking for the run of Giuseppe Rossi. Sort of plays it into an area. Juan Jesus controls but gives it away to Ceballos. And then it's in. No, Rossi just stops and controls the ball. He's got Jack Grealish on the head. Lays it off to Grealish. Into Weghorst. Weghorst back to Grealish. Grealish has a shot. It's blocked. And it's cleared away. And there is sustained Aston Villa pressure now. Carrick back to Grealish. Into Weghorst. Weghorst holds it up to Rossi. Rossi sees Trippier. Trippier dinks this in looking for Weghorst. Juan Jesus gets his head to it. Ceballos keeps it alive. Trippier back and it goes. Weghorst with a header. It's down low and it's saved really well by Morante. And now Aston Villa are just about coming alive and showing this game in the attacking 4-4-3 formation. Ceballos back to Carrick, who's got Jack Grealish on the edge. Rossi lays it back to Grealish, who fires a shot. It's pretty tame. Morante has it covered, and I think there's some tired legs in this midfield. We'll replace Jack Grealish with Vitinho, get a bit more experience, and that was really never setting for a shot. Grealish not running onto it. And it's a poor, tame effort. And he comes off. That's his last involvement. All the dice have been rolled for Aston Villa. 20 minutes to go. And Dzeko looks to win another header. But Retsos does well. And Aston Villa really do have the wind in their sails. Although Pastore makes a good tackle there. El Shaarawy turns. Tackled well. Ceballos into Carrick. Carrick up to Vitinho. Just come on. Fresh legs. And will we see his fresh legs in action? We're tried to find him. Tierney into Carrick. Carrick holds it up. Ref is out of foul. It is. Gives us a chance to find Weghorst again as Tierney is over this one. Let's just try and dink this into an area. It goes to Rossi. Flicks it down. Weghorst with a volley. Took a deflection and Morante pounces on it. Now he'll just kill some time and get a big kick upfield once again looking for Dzeko. Flicks it on but this time to nobody. Weir will pick up that misplaced pass. As it goes on, Ceballos up to Weghorst. Weghorst waiting for the run, sees it, and it's Michael Carrick. Just couldn't have the strength to push off Cristante. Morante collects the ball. 15 minutes to go, and it does look like it's all done and dusted. And now it's just about playing for pride for Aston Villa. Just about keeping this at the same. No more goals for Roma, but Under gets in behind, but then goes back to Karsdorp, who links the ball over. Cristante is robbed by Tierney. Tierney comes forward, giving lots of space to run into. Weghorst lays it off to Grealish. Michael Carrick. Carrick to Rossi. Rossi just waiting for some support, and he gets it from Trippier. Trippier now back heels it to Rossi. Rossi into Carrick. Carrick off to Weghorst, but Nzonzi reads it. That will be picked up by Lucien Burnett. Out it goes to Bisejevic. Bisejevic then finds Ceballos. Ceballos comes forward. Got again given a lot of space to run into. Wegsdorf back to Ceballos. Out to Rossi. Rossi into Wegsdorf. Looking for Rossi again. But it's passed back to Morante. And Dzeko is that out ball. But even Roma are struggling to find him at the moment. And then Vitinho holds the ball up. That's a rash tackle there. And I wonder if Lucien Burnett fancies a go from this range. It's a long way out. Kieran Trippier actually loves a free kick. Michael Carrick, long ball accuracy. We're going to get Lucien Burnett on it. We're going to get him have a hit again. Why not? So Lucien Burnett stands over the ball. Has a go. It's a bit too central. Clean over the bar. Not the best hit. He prefers them from closer range, but 10 minutes to go and it looks like it's going to be all over for Aston Villa as Morant clears the ball forward, looking again for Edin Dzeko. Restos again wins the header really well. Wegsdorf is looking tired up front. He's putting a shift, but it's not been enough, and Dzeko's in. Sommer tries to come out, and Dzeko fires it wide. Sommer put him in two minds for the dink or the long range shot. But Dzeko is so easy here to get in behind this makeshift Aston Villa defence. As he sees it here, just about to the edge of the box, shoots past the post. And yeah, it's a lot to think about for Aston Villa. We'll see if this puts them into the Europa League. We'll have to wait and see as Bisejevic comes forward into Carrick. Carrick just gives it away. And that is really poor from Michael Carrick. And Zonzi has the ball back to Ivan Macano. Out to Karsdorp. Karsdorp up to Dzeko. Dzeko back to Cristante. Looking for Raheem Sterling, who's the pace that you don't really want to see as a defender coming on to frighten the life out of you when you've already had 85 minutes of absolute torment from this Roma team, as Trippier's given a lot of space to run into again, waiting for movement. Wegsdorf to Trippier, back to Weghorst with a back heel. Referee, that's got to be a foul. He's given it, and this is Lucien Burnett range, as we've already seen, and he is over the ball. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, 80. It's got to be Lucien Burnett. So Lucien Burnett picking his position, trying to go over Raheem Sterling. Has he put enough on it? He has, and he's got another one. And it's a game. Lucien Burnett at centre-back, though. Free kicks, wonderful. Wonderful. We can take something out of this game that we have found an absolute free kick hero in our team. Lucien Burnett, again, the goalkeeper didn't even move. It's such a good strike. Lucien Burnett just sticks that in the corner. It's a carbon copy of the last goal. And that makes it 2-2 on the night. 2 away goals for Villa, but it's not enough because it's 4-2 on aggregate. It's just good to say that we've come here and scored 2 goals. I'm very happy with that. In the Champions League qualifiers, it's very nice to say that we've scored 2 goals. As Rossi, why am I looking with the long ball to Rossi? I don't know. But we put them under pressure. Ceballos chasing this down. As the ball goes long, Bisejevic looks to win the header and does. And of course, if we get another goal now, it will be squeaky bum time, as we do keep the possession pretty well. Dani Ceballos out to Trippier. Trippier comes forward with it. There's a bit of space here. Trippier looks to lay it off, but didn't really get a good pass. Now lays it into Ceballos, but Nzonzi reads it very well. Sterling with the ball up to El Shawari. 2 goal scorer. Lucien Burnett has really committed himself there. And Bisejevic has got to try and cover this. And El Shawari's got acres of space in the middle. He picks out Dzeko. Dzeko shoots. And that was always going to happen on a possible counter-attack. It's 3-2. I'm still happy we've scored 2 goals in the Champions League away from home. It was a classic counter-attack. Aston Villa committed men forward. Didn't take the chance when it came. And Roma made them pay. And it's 3-2 on the night. As Carrick comes forward into Weghorst. Weghorst looks to turn, and it's another. Can Lucien Burnett get a hat-trick of free kicks? This would be incredible if he could. This one's a little bit closer. He's just going to try and get Wegsdorf out the way. Now, can he put it into that corner again? No, this one's over the bar. It's not the hat-trick of free kicks from Lucien Burnett. It's just over, not very much. But it looks like that's going to be the game. Aston Villa go out of the Champions League. We'll have to wait and see if this gets them a Europa League spot. But who knows, as Dzeko will probably win the header. He does. Now Raheem Sterling's maybe got in, and Dzeko's made a run. And that's well covered by Lucien Burnett, who's got 2 goals. But it's going to be for nothing in today's game, as it's 3-2 to Roma. Not much Aston Villa could do. Outclassed over both legs. And yeah, it's it was pretty emphatic, to be honest. Pretty emphatic. Superstar doing what it should be, making it a lot harder in the Champions League. As, yeah, big scores all over the place on aggregate in that one. But we go into it. The best player award is going to be announced. And that is Robert Lewandowski. Interesting. That's very interesting. The club have been limited, so the club will enter the UEFA League group stage following its elimination. So we're into the group stage of the Europa League. I'm not too sure if that's been done yet. Group stage, the group's been drawn. They have. So we have Hearts, Feyenoord and Besiktas. Not that tough a group, to be honest. I'm quite happy with that. Other groups, big teams that are around: Watford, Hoffenheim, Real Sociedad, Borussia Dortmund are in there. Napoli, Monaco, Standard Liège, AZ, Liverpool, St Etienne and Genk, Valencia, Sampdoria, Dynamo Zagreb, Chelsea and CSK Moscow are in there as well. Real Madrid are in the Europa League. Zenit, Rennes and Slavia Prague, Fenerbahce, Krasnodar, Milan and Espanyol PAOK. And there we are, back to our group. So let me know down below, do you think we'll get out of that group in the Europa League? Let's have a look to see at the schedule as well, to see when that starts. There we go. That's when we're back. Feyenoord and Aston Villa. Oh, we might not do the West Midlands derby for the first time, but Feyenoord is the game we will be back for in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please leave a comment below. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of the transfer window left. Where do you think we need to invest in? We've only got loans really, or player swaps. Where do you think we need to invest in? Where can I improve this team? But thank you so much for watching. We'll be back to the highlights package. Now the Champions League qualifiers are done. It will be 2 games an episode with a bit of editing just to show you the highlights. But thank you very much for watching, guys. But for now, I'm out. Cheers.